Hey Stitch family, it's Andrew here with a Stitch tutorial. This time it's about how to create a virtual event on Stitch. If you've seen my last tutorial, which was about how to create in-person events on Stitch, then you'll know that this is the companion piece to that. If you haven't watched that tutorial, go ahead and watch it first, because that gives you a bit of a background about why we create events and why they're so important and all that sort of stuff. And that focuses on in-person events, walks, that sort of thing. But another part of the community are virtual events, and you'll have seen these events being created by other members around the world, either in your area or on the other side of the world. And if you're a real in-person type person, you like doing things in person, and you haven't given virtual events too much of a thought, I encourage you to give it a second chance, because what we've discovered, virtual events have a huge role to play in starting to build new connections in the community, introducing you to a much wider range of people than you might have otherwise connected with. And also, it's a kind of a stepping stone into meeting people in person. So a lot of our members love the virtual events and activities. It gives them particularly if they're focused on meeting people with particular interests, it's a great way of doing that. So that's what this tutorial is all about. It presupposes you've watched the other tutorial, so you know how to start the process of creating an event. But right now, I'm just going to focus on how to create a virtual event. Hope you enjoy it. If you watch my other tutorial, you know there are a few different ways to kick off creating an event. The easiest way is to go to the activities page and hit suggest an activity. This then leads you through the process of creating an activity. The first couple of questions we've covered in the previous tutorial, so we'll skip on through to them. And then we get to the question about, is this event in person or virtual? And obviously for this tutorial, we're going to click virtual. The great thing about virtual events is you're not just limited to meeting people in your local area. You can choose your local area, your state or region, your country, or even the global Stitch community for who can come along to your virtual event. In this case, I'm just going to click country. After that, you get to choose what type of virtual event you're going to create. Stitch supports 3 different types of video events. The default option is Stitch Video Chat, which is our own super simple video chat feature that doesn't require anyone to install additional software or have an account on another platform. Just being a Stitch member is enough. Stitch Video Chat doesn't have all the features that some of the video chat providers like Zoom or Skype provide, but that's because it's designed to be really simple. It's a good way to get started with virtual events if you're not familiar with something like Zoom. Stitch does, however, support both Zoom and Skype for virtual events too. So that means if you're an organizer who's familiar with one of those platforms and you want to use some of their more advanced features like virtual backgrounds or breakout rooms or live audio transcriptions or larger number of attendees, then you can do so. Stitch Video Chat doesn't need any extra configuration on your part, but if you choose Zoom or Skype, you do need to add the meeting details. So let's use Zoom as an example, given that's by far the most common platform used by Stitch members. You can see here that once you choose Zoom, you'll be prompted for the Zoom meeting link. That's the link that Zoom provides to meeting organisers, and you just copy and paste it in here. You can also add any extra notes about the event in the field below, such as the passcode. Now, it's really important to note the web link is never shown to attendees. The attendees at your event will just see a button that says Join Now when the event is ready to start. They'll never see the meeting web link. We do it in this way to keep your virtual event completely secure, as it means your meeting link is never posted publicly, so the only people who can come along to the event are the attendees and need to be verified Stitch members. It also helps us confirm that the people who said they would attend actually do come along, which helps us cut down on no-shows. So please don't share your meeting link with anyone, you just need to enter it here. After that, you need to specify an attendee limit. This is optional for in-person events, but because large groups can get a little tricky in virtual events, you have to specify a limit. Most organisers stick to around 8 to 12 people for a virtual event, unless they're running a workshop or giving a presentation or have some kind of structure to the event. I've run virtual events with up to 300 people on them, so it is possible to have huge virtual events on Stitch, but most organisers choose something a little bit more intimate so they can get to know the people on the call a bit better. And then after that, the questions are pretty much identical to the ones for setting up an in-person event, apart from the fact that you don't need to specify an event location because, it's virtual. So you give the event a title and a description, set the date and time, choose a photo, and you're done. Now I've covered all those steps in my previous tutorial, so I won't go over them again here, But if you want to know more, go and check out the tutorial about setting up an in-person event. Okay, so once your event is set up, let's take a look at what it will look like on Stitch. Virtual events all show the virtual tab at the top of the card. You can see a bunch here that I've set up and I'll be attending. If you click into the details of an event that you own, you will see the Zoom details listed because you're the organizer. But as I said before, nobody else will see these details. All the attendees will just see this Join Now button. Now this button's disabled at the moment because it's not time for the meeting to start yet. You can see the message above saying the event doesn't start for 3 days. But 10 minutes before the event starts, the button will get enabled for all attendees. And they'll also see a banner in Stitch telling them the event is about to start, along with a notification on their phone, as well as an email reminder an hour before the event starts. So they'll have no excuse not to show up. We recommend members join a few minutes prior to the scheduled start time just by clicking on the button, so that way they can be ready to go when the meeting starts. Now, one final note on the start time for events. If you choose to make your event countrywide or global, it's possible that some of your attendees will be in a different time zone to you, but you don't need to worry about that. Stitch will automatically show each attendee the start time for an event in their own local time. So you can see here my event shows 8 PM in my local time, but a member who is looking at this event in London, for example, would see 9 AM in the morning. So you don't need to worry about time differences or time zones. Just enter the time in your local time, attend at the time that you'd like to attend, and Stitch will take care of the rest. And that's all there is to it. Pretty simple, isn't it? I hope you found that useful. Please give it a try and let us know how you go. If you need any help, you always know how to contact Stitch. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for updates about other tutorials, community updates, messages from me, and general get-togethers. And I hope until I see you next time, stay safe, and we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.